Mr. DEVANEY, part of your charge, of course, is to make sure that the money is being spent properly. Do you have any charge with respect to the money being spent? In other words, if this is a stimulus package and this money is being distributed, do you know how much money remains unspent? And are there any metrics established for seeing that this money does get spent in a timely manner to, in fact, be a stimulus?
Congressman, my understanding
could you pull that mic closer and speak a little louder?
My understanding is the information that's going to be flowing into this website will, in fact, give us that kind of information. I don't know that we've been seeing it yet, but it's coming.
So how much has been spent so far?
A lot. The first day.
Can you quantify a lot?
No, I can't really. I do know that a lot.
This is my question.
A lot of money went out under formula type of money went out very early on. Agencies were able to get money out the door quickly to programs that they normally put money into every year. So. From a risk perspective, that's probably okay because those are programs that have processes and people in place to receive that money, albeit it's more money than they normally do.
It's going out. Is it being spent?
Well,
you know the problem we have with this TARP funds. If money goes out, the banks hoard the money. Is this money being spent? Is it stimulating the economy? Do you know?
I don't know today. But I do know that the amount of information that OMB is requiring folks to get back to us with will talk about those issues.
Well, this committee needs to know.
Yes.
That the money is being spent. How it's spent is, of course, our oversight responsibility. But that it's being spent relates directly to whether or not it's a stimulus. Now, I want to talk to you about the general contracting process. Can you explain why the Recovery Act's emphasis on fixed-price contracts will help contain fraud and waste?
Well, in general terms, there is an incentive to contractors under fixed-price contracting to come in with a realistic price, and we keep the cost overruns down. Historically, if it's not a fixed-cost contract, contractors have little incentive to make sure those costs stay within a
Are you going to be examining contracts to see if people are lowballing in terms of competitive bidding?
I think that would be part of an audit process that we at the federal level, all the IGs, and our state and local counterparts.
Are you increasing? Does the Recovery Act increase mandates for competitive bidding of contracts?
It has in place criteria for contracts, and because it does, and because we're going to be able to watch that, we're going to have a quicker response time, be able to respond quicker to those that deviate from those rules.
Will there be fewer exceptions or waivers granted?
I think that the Act contemplates that if there are waivers or exceptions, that they be posted on the website.
I have another broad policy question that I'd like you to address. I come from a community, Cleveland, Ohio, and was mayor of a city where there is a substantial number of minority entrepreneurs. Our African-American community in the city of Cleveland is now pretty close to about half the population of the city itself. Now, a lot of these entrepreneurs are really not given opportunities to get in on these federal bids. What's being done as part of your charge, and if you're not, who is making sure that that minority contractors who are established and part of a community are given an opportunity to be part of this bidding process, so that the benefits of the stimulus really get to communities where the help is needed the most and where people have been established, and make sure the money gets into the neighborhoods?
Well, it's not in the board's mandate to do that. My assumption is that the agencies are going to be working very hard to make sure that happens. So it would be the agencies that are giving the money out, and the state agencies as the money flows down to the states.
So are you keeping track at all to see if there's any minority contracting going at all? Or do you look at that? You're going to keep statistics so that we can know in terms of a gross amount of money that might be spent in this country going to minority contractors?
I don't know the answer to that, but I'll get back to you on that.
I'd like to know.